What is up, everybody, and welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. I am your host for today, Stars Fall Dim. Hope you guys are once again doing well. Welcome to the Destiny Starleague. Should be good. We're going to go ahead and jump in to the first series here. It is Honda Civic versus Nicorette. So let's get into it. Let's see who takes the victory here. Alright. Here we go. Get our music off, our introduction music. All that good stuff. Oh, there we go. Switch those around. And boom. There we go. Without further ado, guys, in the top right-hand corner of the map here on Pillars of Gold, spawning in as the blue Protoss. Give it up. It is Honda Civic. Representing that Alpha X logo. And here in the bottom left, in the red, playing as the Terran, he is Nicorette from Hawk Killers. There we go. Alright, so Gateway first coming down for Honda Civic. On the other side, going to be that first barracks. Now, nothing too crazy happening just yet. There's no proxies going across the map. And nothing too much out of the ordinary. Let me switch my mouse real quick, make it a little bit easier for me to switch around. There we go. That is much better. You know you might be a gamer if you have multiple mice for different games. And that, of course, is what's happening today. So, TVC is definitely in an interesting place. I'm interested to see how both of these players do kind of line themselves out. 7X Core going to be coming down for Honda Civic. Now, trying to go for an expansion, but it does look like Nicorette is going to be doing a little bit of a block. So very good job there. Normally it's the Protoss, which looks like he was doing one across the map as well. But Nicorette will be able to actually get that down. So good job. Still... The Pro Peer 4 Honda Civic struggling to get down an expansion, delaying that quite a bit here. Actually, a really good job there from Nicorette. Looks like he's going to be able to finally get out and get that expansion down. Zealot has spawned out here for Honda Civic. And behind this, I'm interested to see, does he want to go into Stalkers? Does he go into Adepts? What kind of pressure does he want to put in this? Now, Factory is down for Nicorette. He is going to be going into a reactor behind this, so it's going to be interesting. Oh, he still hasn't been able to really build that, though. Kind of unfortunate. Reaper does come across, sees that it is going to be a Stalker for Honda Civic. And again, I'm interested, does Nicorette go into, well, there it goes. I'm going to say, does he go into maybe some Hellion play? But it does look like he's going to go ahead and throw down the Tech Lab onto that factory. Going to be going into the Marines. And already some pressure coming out here from a Honda Civic. Going to be delaying this expansion once again. Really going to allow Honda Civic to come back from this. Now, he does have 2 Marines in the main, which will allow him to at least kind of put some pressure on it. Also, with the Reaper, we'll be able to potentially get the kill. But nope. It's going to recall itself back, so very good job there. DT Shrine on the way, though. Interesting. Does have the Toilet Council down, obviously, and with the DT Shrine, going to be able to at least have some kind of, you know, invisible detection. And right now, especially in the early game, Terrans like to use a lot of that energy trying to get mules, trying to get themselves up and running. Now, there is a starport on the way, and there's going to be a tank and a Cyclone here. So he does have enough to actually defend against something. There are a couple of more gateways coming down, and also that robotics facility with the War Prism now coming in here. He does finally have the eBay on the way as well. So he should be able to defend against this. Tech Lab's going to go down on the starport. So more than likely he's going to have Ravens. He's going to have enough to defend against this. Now he's sending the Cyclone and the Reaper across the map. And we'll put on a little bit of pressure, but nothing too crazy. The Honda Civic with that War Prism going to be coming through. And yeah, that Raven is coming down. We have the turrets coming through as well. And everything just looking pretty good. I mean, pretty standard coming out from Nicorette. He is trying to go around and scout, is there any kind of pressure coming out, but does not look like that is going to be the case. Ooh, almost loses the Reaper there, barely able to make it out with it though. And here comes that War Prism. Is he going to have enough here though? Reaper and the Cyclone going to be making its way back home now. The tank is unsieged, so he's not going to have a whole lot there. And, already DT's going to be warped in here now. They're going to be dropped down. The Raven is available, and with the missile turret, not going to get, I guess, too much there. But 6 SCVs do fall. He's going to be able to get out with the War Prism, or does he? Oh, barely able to get it with all of those DTs. Definitely not worth it, but does get it. So good job there from Nicorak. Honda Civic going to have to warp in some sentries, and he is going to take a third base behind this. Now the question becomes, is Nicorak going to push here? And it does look like that is going to be the case. He's got Banshees on the way, he's got Marines, he's got tanks, he's got everything that he needs. He's even sending quite a bit of SCVs here. This looks really, really good from Nicorak. I mean, he really hasn't lost that much. He's lost 7 SCVs and a missile turret. In retrospect, not too bad. And here it comes. Tank's going to be getting in here. The Reapers, the Cyclones, trying to get on top of everything. Cyclone does lose connection on the DT. But with the tank sieging up, with that Raven in place, a lot of damage is going to be had here. Honda Civic definitely has to be careful. He's got a small army here. He's going to actually recall it, I believe, into the main. Yeah, he recalls into the main. He doesn't have a whole lot of army here, though. He's only got 15 army supply, and a lot of that comes because he was trying to do this cheeky DT push. Oh, the Immortal doesn't get out, as well as that robotics facility goes down. And now Overcharge going to be coming down. Does get taken out pretty quickly, though, with the Banshee, with the Marines coming in here. Definitely not looking good for Honda Civic. All the probes go down, and GG will be called as we see the first victory going to Nicorak. So GG's. Now I believe we will see what the next map will be here. Excuse me. So we'll see. Loser picks a map. So we'll see here what Honda Civic picks. Looks like he's going to go with Death Aura. Looky there, it's right on the top. So we'll create the lobby, make sure we get everybody in there. So pretty standard first game. Definitely a good build coming out from Nicorak. And we'll see here if in game number 2 Honda Civic can make the adjustments to kind of come back from this. Matches. There we go. So yeah, good stuff. You know, I think if Honda Civic would have opened up more standard, it wouldn't have done as much. He would have had more army for sure. But unfortunately, because of that opening, trying to go for such a quick tech heavy into the DTs, lost the War Prism, was not able to kind of overcome it. But let's go ahead and jump into game number 2, and let's see if things can get tied up here. Go. Without further ado, in at the top left, in the blue, it is Honda Civic playing as the Protoss pieces. And down in the bottom right, currently up 1-0. Give it up. It is Nicorak, Terran player. Alrighty. So again, the Gateway first going to be coming out here from Honda Civic. Barracks is going to be coming down for Nicorak. He actually goes for the refinery first here. So definitely looks like he could be going for another gas tech heavy build. I'd be interested to see if he does still go for the expansion or not. So far, other than the early gas, pretty standard from both sides. Now, Probe is going to be coming in for our Protoss. Looking to be potentially, annoying. Maybe try to deny a little bit of the building here for that barracks, but looks like it's going to be more than okay. Going to build just in time. He's going to come down, and I think he's still just trying to find, does he want to block this or not. And Nicorak going to be doing the eBay block, which is actually really interesting. SCV coming down to harass, and you know, he wants to get that expansion out. I think he could actually go ahead and do it, but he's just going to give chase at the same time. With the extra building, going to allow this eBay to delay even longer. Reaper on its way now. As behind this, he's going to take a quick third, or no. Oh my god, I'm thinking he already had a natural. What? Nah, he's going to be taking the natural in the main base. Wants to make sure that it does get up and running. He does know that there is a zealot potentially on its way across the map. Actually sees it there with the Reaper. We'll delay that a little bit, but this will allow the CC2 finish building. He's got the factory there as well. And I'm actually interested, does he do the same build as in game number 1? I mean, it worked really well, but if Honda Civic does something different, which he's going to go straight into Twilight Council, so I don't think he'll do too much. Or at least he won't have that much anyways. We'll see. Does have the expansion there. Reaper is in the main. Gonna be able to get out as well. It's a very good job there. Nicorak does get a full scout off. Now Honda Civic gonna send across that zealot. And it's going to be interesting, right? Does he continue with this DT play? He's going to go into a robotics bay, though, or facility, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to go into Immortals, maybe do Blink. Yeah, there's the Blink right there. And just try to attack this from a different angle. Alright, Stalkers are out. Going to actually surround the Reaper. Finally does take care of it. And yeah, it's going to be the same kind of build that we saw in the previous game. He hasn't built... Okay, there it is right there. Starport does go down. Tech Lab as well. And yeah, I mean, he's just gearing up for this push. Additional gateway is going to be coming down on the other side here for Honda Civic. Blink about halfway done, and yeah, I mean, he's going kind of in just like a 4-gate push with Blink, but with the War Prism and with Banshees here for Nicorak, don't see it getting too much done. Alright, so Marines are going to be able to kind of shut down the rocks. We will see them continue to kind of press forward with this. There we go. Alright, sorry if it looks a little laggy, guys. Give me 1 second here. I just making sure I have this pulled up. Cool. I think we are good to go there. Okay, cool. Alright, so we do have a little bit of a push coming out here now for Nicorak. Now, Honda Civic does have quite a bit of stalkers, but with the tanks, with the Marines, and with these SCVs healing up these units, it's going to be very tough here for Honda Civic. Now, he is warping in more stalkers. He's got Immortals on the way. War Prism going to be making its way into the main, and Nicorak actually isn't going to see this, so he will be able to get some Zealots and stuff or something in there. But with this big attack coming in here, I think it's definitely going to be scary for the Protoss. Now, the tanks are going to siege up. The Marines coming in here, and with the Banshee, going to be able to take out that Immortal pretty easily. More Zealots are getting warped in down here at the bottom to start some counter harassment. Now, I don't think that's going to deter Nicorak too much to coming back, but there we go. Gonna go straight for the pylon. Gonna shut down the Immortal coming out with the second Banshee coming through. Trying to blink on top of these tanks. Not gonna be able to. We'll have to back up once again. Now, finally, with the Banshee, with the Marines and stuff, we'll be able to at least take care of the current problem in his base. There still is that War Prism, but does not look like it's going to be the best. And it looks like Honda Civic slowly starting to fall apart here. He's down 8 workers to the 5. Just so much army supply here against Honda Civic. Just a deadly push coming out here from the Terran player. Gonna siege up onto the low ground as that high ground does come through. GG. And there we go. GG's. Well played. I think there is another one. There we go. There we go. Awesome. So that is the next match. Awesome. We're going to take just a quick break and get everything switched around. And we'll get to the next match here in just a minute. So don't go anywhere. We are back. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I apologize for the wait. We are waiting for the other players. I'm guessing there's some kind of issue finding them or something's going on. So it should be just a minute or two, and we will should hopefully have them. So should be good. It is going to be on E this time. So we are switching servers and making sure all of that is done. So we will see here very soon. I'm hoping they haven't started, is what my thing is, that they're not in the middle of a game or something. So we'll see if we can get them here. We'll get that game casted for you. So it should be just a minute or two. I appreciate you guys, and we're going to go back on another short break. When we come back, we should have that game, or at least an update. All right, thanks, guys. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for your patience. It has been rewarded. We're going to be in the series here in just a minute. Mechanics and Mixu have shown up, so we will get into them next, and we will see who wins between them. It's going to be a ZVZ, so I am excited to see that. Yeah, I've seen Mixu play before, so I'm excited to see him. I haven't really seen Mechanics play, though. So we'll see if he has the mechanics or not. It is going to be on Jagannatha for the first map, so it should be good. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. And we will go from here. So, good stuff. Good stuff. They just need just a second, and we will get into the next map. Or at least the first map of this series, so. Good, good. There we go. Now I can see. Okay, cool. Should access. Ah. All right, cool. So we are just waiting for them to go. It looks like mechanics needed just a second, and then we will be able to get into it. So I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get back into some casting. You know, it does suck sometimes when you have to kind of sit around, you know. So, I'm ready to get into it. There we go. There we go. How are you guys doing today? As we kind of wait for them, it really is just kind of a waiting game at this point. It feels like. How's your day been? How are things going? It's definitely been a long day for me. Okay, looks like mechanics is ready. I'm ready. And I think Mixu should be ready. Hopefully. That's the hope. Make sure we get switch the right thing. There we go. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Game number 1. It is going to be Mixu versus mechanics. Should be good. Right. Without further ado, here in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing as the red Zerg pieces, give it up, it is Mixu. And in the bottom left, in the red, or excuse me, in the blue, I was looking at the GG in red. It is Mechanics. Genius Gaming. The Blue Zerg. Everybody's playing red. Red is sus this game, and that is everybody. Now, ZVZ is an interesting matchup. It's kind of has its highs. It's had its lows. I think right now it's kind of in an interesting spot. We see a lot of roach fights, see a lot of Ling Bane, craziness, a lot of early aggression, and sometimes we do actually see some more macro long games. Now, I'm interested to see how these two players do want to play this, right? In a best of 3 situation, group stages, sometimes you just kind of throw those wonky builds out and hope they land, hope they stick. Maybe you feel like, yeah, I want to save my best builds for later on, right? So far, both players doing similar builds here. Spawning pool, about halfway done for both players. Naturals getting ready to finish up as well. Lings are not to be made yet, but we do have overlords flying across the map. Now, on Dragonotha, they have these interesting little warp portal things, which make it really interesting, right? You know, anything that goes through it goes quicker, is a little bit of a speed boost. So in ZVZ with creep already making you fast, definitely Dragonotha is the speed zones. So we'll see how things kind of go from here. Now both players are going to be going into the queens. Looks like a third base for Mixie will be coming out. No third base yet here from Mechanics, so could potentially go to something else. He is going to throw down an Evo chamber though, so will allow him to get some upgrades, potentially go into like a +1 roach timing and get aggression. Now Mixie going with that third base will allow him to get more drones. He is going to throw down a Bailing Nest, so we'll be able to go into that Ling Bane style, and with that third hatch get more Lings out, be able to be a lot more aggressive. Now +1 melee is on the way here with 10 Lings, so it does look like Mechanics is the one going to be getting strong. Behind this there is a drone going to the third for Mechanics. So Mixu does see this kind of delayedness, and if you see it, do you think, okay, well, maybe I'm alright? Well, he's going to make 12 Lings. He's got speed almost done. Looks like Mixu's will finish just about a second earlier. And Bailing Nest is going to finish up, so he will have a little bit of an advantage with the Bailing Nest. But with that +1, it gets kind of scary. Alright, so Lings are here for the Blue Zerg. Looking to get a kill or a cancel on the hatchery. Will not be able to get it. Trying to get a little bit of a wraparound. Queen's going to be coming out to help protect this. And Mechanics will send his Lings back. Now, Mixu will go across the map now with his own Lings, looking to cancel this third base. He knows how late it is. And could potentially do some damage there. But he also has to be careful because Mechanics does have a bunch of Lings streaming across the map. And it looks like he will actually go ahead and go to the third. There are a couple of Lings still there. Mixu going to be going with his own Lings. There's a couple of Bailings. We'll be able to clear up a good chunk of these Lings, but does not yeah, he's not going to have enough. And it looks like actually Mechanics getting quite a bit done here. Able to kill off 4 drones. Looks like he might be able to get a queen as well. A second queen possibly down as well. Plus, still working away at this third base. Definitely doing a really good job, and more Lings making their way across the map. A few more Bailings are coming out as we do have +1 and roaches on the way. Definitely has to be careful here as it is very, very Ling heavy. Now third base will go down for Mixu. The Bailing's going to waddle themselves around, but fortunately Mechanics going to be a little too quick. Layers on the way on both sides. Now +1 armor is on the way for Mechanics, while on the other side it is going to be that +1 air, or excuse me, the range upgrade. So we'll see. Still more Lings are to be had for Mechanics as he's going to continue to kind of push in here. Just give a little bit of scouts. Sees that the third base has been taken once again. Trying to get on top of the queen. Here come the Bailings though. He's got to be careful. Bailings will actually be taken. Oh, he almost loses them all right there. We'll be able to get back at the same time. There was a little bit of a counterattack going on. Able to cancel a couple of Bailings from Mechanics' own library. This is going to get forced all the way back home. It's got 5 roaches on the way. Going to sit out into the front. Doesn't get the best Bailing hit, so doesn't have a whole lot of Lings. We'll have to come back. Now, there are roaches here to help clean this up. Behind it is going to be a Spire for Mechanics, so he has all these macro hatches available. is going to go ahead and continue to press in with this now. Yeah. I like this from Mixu. He's going to have enough roaches to really do some damage. Spire is not here yet. It's still about halfway done. If Mechanics can hold this back until he gets enough of those mutas out, he might be in a good time. But these roaches definitely could do some damage, but again, Mechanics has quite a bit of links here. I don't think it's enough to destroy as many of the roaches that are here for Mixu. Even with +2 on the way now for Mechanics, it's gonna be tough. +2 is almost done for Mixu. So Lings are gonna get in here, gonna be able to take care of a queen, gonna kill off a couple of roaches. We'll force a couple to actually to morph there. And mutas on the way. Finally, 5 of them are on the way. A +1 and a bailing speed going to be on the way. 4th base behind it for Mechanics. And yeah, I mean, he's playing it really smart. He's forcing Mixu to be defensive. There's a 4th base coming, though, for Mixu. So he's still going to be base for base. Going to see the mutas as well. Going to give him time to actually kind of react to this. That is really nice. Really huge. Now, can he capitalize on it, though? Roaches are going to come in here. There is a single Ravager. But no, they're going to get surrounded by the Lynx. Going to get eaten up here. And now he's going to have to deal with the Lynx. He's going to have to deal with the mutas. He is going to be going into Hydralisk. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Especially with how many Lynx and stuff are on the field. But 4th base is going to be canceled. We are going to see him trying to do something here. Spore Crawlers are down all around the bases. Queens are out, trying to deal with this, but it looks like the Lynx going to get on top of the Spore Crawlers pretty quickly. Bailings don't get the best connections here. The Roaches trying to help out as well as the Queens, but yeah. Hydralisk Den's going to be done, but he doesn't have enough there. He even gets a Lurker Den, but really has to worry about these mutas. Gonna lose a 3rd base once again, so now it makes you back down to 2 bases. Gonna retake it immediately. And 23 workers go down, so 43 to 74 workers. Definitely Mechanics in a very strong position. He's gonna go ahead and just kind of fly around with those mutas. We'll allow him to be aggressive, but also, kind of shut down some pressure. Very interesting. Hydralisk Den and Infestation Pit coming down for Mechanics. Going to be able to go up to Hive Tech, and I don't even know if he's going to need it. Queen's going to block off the Maid. Yeah, I mean, they're just sitting there. They're not even dealing any damage. Kind of on a hold command. Kind of unfortunate. Oh, and the Hydralisk Den is still alive. He's going to be able to go into Hydras. He's got Infestors on the way. Wow. That's actually going to be really good. Alright, so things have kind of calmed down for the time being. A 5th base going to be coming down for Mechanics. He still has a good muta count. We take a look at 17 mutas. He's got Hive on the way. He's got +2 air, as well as Hydralisk Den is done. He's already got the Lurker Den on the way as well. So we are going to see some very similar styles coming up here, but oh my goodness. 89 workers here for Mixu. He's going to take a 6th base behind this. Just going to continue to put on the pressure. Now, one thing to note. These mutas do not have an Overseer with them, so they're not going to be able to see the Lurkers. Could be the potential for the Infestors as well to be on the ground. Don't lose the Queens pretty easily here. Hive Tech is on the way. Mixu gonna have to return home with his own roaches. He does have the Infestors though, so it does kind of give it away that he may try something with that. And with Bailing Speed, Lings, and Mutas coming through, be a very tight fit now. There is an Overseer now with the army. We'll see. Good job there, actually. Getting a lot of those Banelings. They're still going to make the connections as the Banelings do end up rolling over everything. Roaches and Hydras trying to find some kind of ground, some kind of path. But the Banelings going to eliminate a good chunk of this, and now a ton of Lings, 44 at a time, going to be making their way across the map. 7 more Mutas on the way as well. And with the Overseer in place, these Mutas just going to reign dominant. And now, with the Vipers, with the Infestors even, it's going to have a tough time defending this. I think Mechanics is just very, very solid. I mean, it's 200 supply to 93. You're going to find yourself in an interesting position for sure. Now, he's going to come in between the main and the natural and just try to put some pressure on. There's enough Mutas at this point. I think you can definitely take care of the Hydras. There we go. Link's getting in there. There's only one lurker that he has to worry about. Oh, 2, excuse me. So not a whole lot of damage, considering how many Lings there are. 14 more drones go down, so 40 to 87. Just insane. Definitely is Mechanics' game right now. He's going to get all of his necessary upgrades. He's got more Lings and stuff coming across the map. Just trying to play it cautious. Doesn't want to overextend it. Beautiful fungal, though. Oh, and the parasitic bomb. Oh, no. All of the Mutas are going to crumble. Wow. Going from over 20 Mutas to 6. Wow. What a play there from Mixu. That was such a good combination. Mixu is trying to retake a 4th base here. But he has to be careful, right? Just throw down a lurker to try to help deter some of the Lings. But that is a lot of Lings. A lot of Lings. How many Lings does he have? 102. Oh my goodness. He's got adrenaline coming through. Oh man. Here he comes. The Lings. Gonna get on top of the base. We'll at least get the cancel. Gonna be able to kill off the lurker as well. Sport Crawler trying to get in place, and more lurkers are on the way. +1 carapace on the way as well. A little late there, but yes, now is better than any. Professor's getting quite a bit of energy. Should be able to be full by the time he actually engages into this. And interesting note, it's going to be more lurkers than anything, right? He's not getting any more Mutas. He's really not getting any more Lings at this point. He's getting +2 range upgrade, +3 carapace, and that adrenaline that we had talked about. So it could be a very big, like, adrenaline, or excuse me, lurker versus lurker battle. Seven overlords on the way. Oh, he's going for a drop. Oh. Yeah. He's not going to see this. Now, more Lings, oh, excuse me, more army is going to be going up towards the north here. Lurkers, Hydras, Banes. As a huge drop does end up going into the main. So really looking to push Mixu short, right? Oh, this is so nasty. Same time, we do have the lurkers coming in to the top 3rd base here, going to force the army to be pulled for Mixu. At the same time, these Lings going to be coming into the main. Now, not all of the Lings have been dropped. Going to be able to kill off that 3rd base with all of these beautiful lurkers. The hive going to go down. All of the production here going to crumble. Mixu definitely in trouble. Yeah, I mean, he's going into a pretty defensive position right here, but he's definitely hurting. Yeah. I think Mixu just trying to cope with the loss, see what he needs to adjust. Maybe think of another strategy for game number 2, but going down to 1 base against a 7 base army here. Yeah, not looking good. I mean, he's got a decent, like, army, I guess, but 57 to 106, definitely not worth it. He's gonna go across and attack. I mean, that's kind of his last hurrah, but there's just so much army here for mechanics at this point. Alright, beautiful fungals are going to go down. GG will be called, and mechanics going to take game number 1 there in this best of 3 series. So, makes you definitely can make a comeback, but looking really good for mechanics. Does an awesome job there. So we'll see what game number 2 will end up bringing. I'm trying to think, what could Mixu have done better? Like, he had to play very defensive. So, oh, sorry, I keep hitting my mic there. It just really felt like mechanics was kind of ahead of him, and it wasn't like he did a lot of like early aggression, was able to get the damage done. Unfortunately, like Mixu went into a baling nest, had the baling advantage, but wasn't able to connect the balings like he needed to, and obviously mechanics just going for a really like aggressive push early on, just kind of set it in motion for the whole series. Romanticide going to be game number 2, so we'll see here how things kind of shape up. Did my camera move? Maybe, I don't know. Alrighty, here we go. Countdown has begun for game number 2. Can be a little bit different. Definitely going to be a closer map than the previous. So I'm interested. Does mechanics do another aggressive push, or do we actually see Mixu change things up? Let's find out. Alright. Without further ado, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing as the red Zerg pieces, give it up, it is Mixu. And in the bottom right, in the blue, playing as the Zerg pieces as well, give it up, it is mechanics. Alright, so ZVZ once again. Interested to see how things end up playing out here. Both players are going to be going for that hatchery opening. And we'll see, how do they want to play things out in game number 2? Again, do we see Mixu get aggressive this game? Maybe try to change things up. And continue from there. Spawning pool coming down on both sides. Both players going for that extractor as well, so very standard stuff. It's really going to depend on how these players want to play. Game 2, do you play a little bit more standard or feel a bit more comfortable as the Blue Zerg, knowing that you are a game up? Do you kind of sit back and hope maybe something happens out of it? Right. So Overlords are going to be making their way across the map on both sides. And finally those hatcheries are finishing. And here's the first kind of deviation, right? We see a couple links being made for Mixu, looking to potentially send those across. Maybe harass, get a drone, or at least just have, you know, just an idea kind of what's going on, or even just have them for defense. We will see. It looks like he is going to go ahead and send those across. 4 lings on the way for mechanics, though, behind this. Looks like he wants to send his across as well. 3rd base on the way. On both sides as well. Mixu going to see this. And I don't know, does... Yeah, mechanics going to see this as well. Yep, just giving chase. Behind it is going to be a roach warren for mechanics. Going to be a bailing nest for Mixu. So already some more deviations. Does he actually see this though? Mechanics. Okay, he does at least now see it. Sees the 3rd base, and yeah, I mean, I like this. Just going to be aggressive. Just going to force, you know, more lings and stuff from Mixu. And mechanics waiting for that roach warren to finish. Is going to go into double evo chamber, so it looks like it's going to be a +1 timing for mechanics. Ling does get in. We'll see everything kind of coming together. What adjustments does he make? He's going to go down, throw down his own roach warren. It's going to be quite queen heavy here for mechanics. Oh. Another round of drones for Mixu, so that will put him up at least 42 or so to 30. +1 speed on the way. And yeah, I think after that, he just goes full roach. Layer almost done. We are actually going to have a Nidus worm. That's really interesting. He has the Overlord up here, so definitely looking to go into the base. And Romanticite's one of those... one of those maps that has such a big open, you know, base that allowing the person to not see anything, right? It's going to be very tough. Alright, so a few roaches are going to come up to the top for defense. Does he know? So he doesn't know of the Nidus network. There are a few queens up here, though. It does look like Mixu is at least somewhat prepared. He's got the few roaches. Oh, I think you go right here in the natural, maybe over here. But with the spine crawlers, with the roaches, and the queens, definitely feels like there's an attack on the way, but it looks like Mechanic's going to return back home. Not going to be able to do too much. 9 more roaches on the way. 10 for Mixu. And yeah, I mean, does he actually... Yeah, he just cancels it all together. God, Mixu just has so much vision right now. It's insane. Ooh, Spire going to be seen by Mixu now. as Mechanics has it on the way. +2 is halfway done for Mixu, as he is making his way across the map. Now, don't think Mechanics actually sees a whole lot of this coming across. Yeah, he GG's out. It is going to be a tied game at 1-1. This Mixu ties things up. We're going to game number 3. So should be interesting. Kind of want some ice cream. Sounds good. Alright, so what map will Mechanics choose for game number 3 to see who will move on? And I believe, if I'm reading it right, the winner of this plays the winner of the last game, and then the losers play, and the loser of the winner's game then plays the winner of the... So far, so good. Looks good anyways. Alright. I am not playing Protoss. I will play Terran. There you go. Alright, there we go. They're trying to get me to play against Mixu. No, not today. Alright, countdown has begun. It is going to be on Death Aura for our final match in this series. Should be good. Let's get it. Alright. Without further ado, here in the bottom right, in the red, it's the Zerg player. It is Mixu. And in the top left, in the blue, playing Zerg as well, it is Mechanics. Alright. So we've seen aggressive plays from both sides. Definitely Mechanics showing some strong plays, but obviously it felt like he couldn't do a whole lot to Mixu after that big attack coming his way, right? He already had +2 about done, and you know, he really didn't have the army to deal with it. He was going into Muta, so he was saving up a lot of his larva, a lot of his money into actually getting Mutas. So didn't really work out how we wanted it to, but we'll see from here how things kind of play out. Mixu doing a quick kind of spawning pool play. And it does look like it's going to be a 1-base Ling rush coming out here from Mechanics. He's already got about 6 Lings on the way across, going to try to dodge everything that it can. Now, if Mixu can defend this early aggression... Oh, he's got a spine crawler down. Oh, beautiful. Alright, so a few drones are going to come over here try to help deal with this, but we will actually see... Does he cancel it? Yeah. Going to go ahead and build onto the natural. More links going to be coming in here for Mechanics as behind this. Trying to get some kind of defense. Not going to be able to get it though. But so far, good hold from Mixu. He's only lost 2 drones. He gets a beautiful surround on a lot of this army. Lynx are going to make it out. Going to get the kill onto the... Man, such a good play here. Getting the kill onto the spine crawler. Now going to be able to ward away the overlords. That puts Mixu in a very good position here. Mechanics just now taking his hatchery. So we'll be a little bit before he can really get anything going, but a nice big drone round. Yeah, he's going to GG out of there. Realizes how far behind he was, and we'll go ahead and get out of there. So Mixu will be the winner for that series. So there we go. Let's see here. So it is now 1-1 for Mixu and for Nickerack. So I believe Honda Civic and Mechanics play. Nickerack then Mixu play, I believe. Alright, so I believe we go back to NA, maybe? We are going to take a quick break, though, and when we come back, we'll get into some more StarCraft action, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, we are back. Thank you again for your waiting. We have the next series ready. Map is loaded in. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's see who will win. This is Mixu versus Nickerack to see who will go ahead and be the first player to move on. Alright. Without further ado, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing as the Red Zerg pieces, give it up, it is Mixu. In the bottom right, in the purple, Playing as the Terran Pieces, give it up. It is Nicorette. Alright, so TVZ is on the way here. And should be a good one. Mixu going into that hatch first, into pool. Should be pretty standard. Rack's going to be coming out for Nicorette as well. And he is going to send across an SCV to see what's going on. He wants to know, hey, what you doing over here? How's it going? And we'll go ahead and play into that now. We'll see what will happen now. Nicorette going to go for an expansion. Reaper on the way for him. And overall, shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so factory on the way for Nicorette. Behind this, again, just gonna make queens, make a couple links for defense, speed on the way, and not a whole lot on Mixu's side. I mean, very standard stuff, nothing crazy. Nicorette gonna come in with the Reaper, looking to put some pressure on. Now, still has a little bit before the queen gets here, so might be able to get a drone. Does not get it down in time. So it will be able to at least form into a spore crawler. And yeah, not able to get anything. Very good micro there from Mixu. Does see the timing there of the third base as well. And now Nicorette wants to get into the main base. Wants to at least scout, see, are there roaches on the way? Is there anything crazy coming? And after that, just be able to get out. Now behind it, he is making Hellions. Does actually get a Ling, so that's good. So, but no, like, he's gonna go into Hellions, gonna start sending those across, potentially continue to start denying creep tumors. It still wants to keep an eye on everything. 4 seconds until metabolic boost finishes up. Makes it a little bit tougher for Nicorette to actually, do some damage, but behind this, going to be going into a fusion core. Very interesting. Going to go into battle cruisers and potentially go into this like Hellbat battle cruiser style. I definitely see like players like Special go for it, and it can be strong, but it's going to depend, right? If Nicorette actually scouts this now, because, or excuse me, Mixu scouts it. Yeah, he's going pretty high onto the Hellion count, and already we see Mixu starting to send in an Overlord, but I think it might be actually too late, and with the Marine there, I think he just ends up killing it, right? Already quite a bit of Lings coming out. We do have a Roach Warren down, Layer on the way, so we'll be able to get like speed, +1, all those different little techs. Yeah, he's going to suicide this in. Okay, so he will see the... He won't see the battle cruiser, but he will at least see Starport. And I like that. Nicorette gonna try to throw down that he's making a Banshee or something. Oh, he's making a second one as well. Interesting. Alright, does scan. Able to clear up a good amount of creep. We'll be able to push that back, and now the first battlecruiser is about to pop out here. It does have Yamada Cannon on the way, and there's a second tech lab going on the other starport here. And unfortunately, roaches do not help you out that much. There's only a handful of queens here. And now with the Hellions coming in here, the Reaper trying to help out will actually force back the Hellions a little bit. Going to go into the main. Just have to be careful though. He's not actually shooting that much with the battlecruiser, so not getting the damage done that he really would like. He does get 15 drones though, so that's very, very good. And he's going to get out with a handful of those Hellions. Actually going to get wrapped around here. Oh, beautiful. And now there's a huge counterattack coming back now against Nicarak, as Mixu does want to put the pressure on. Oh, he actually lost. Yeah, he did. He lost the battlecruiser. He does have 2 battlecruisers on the way. So that's a couple of Marines and some Hellions, so that will help out a little bit. But these battlecruisers still have time until they can actually morph. And with these roaches in place, it's going to put some definite pressure here, right? SCVs are trying to heal up, but the Roach is just going to focus down the depot, going to allow them to get in here. The Lynx going to be able to rush in as well, so he will eventually have to kind of sack this natural for the time being. Still waiting for these battlecruisers to pop. One does eventually pop out here. Going to see it start trying to take care of the Roaches. There are a lot of Roaches. The Lynx going to be able to help out as well. Taking care of all of the depots, going to supply block Nicarak pretty heavily here. And though the Roaches do get cleaned up, the Lynx still causing trouble. Do eventually back up. Third base on the way now for Nicarak. Going to send himself across the map. Inspire on the way. Going to allow those Corruptors to get in here. And, you know, Mixu doing a fine job. Let's have the Spire being made as well as some more Queens. The Transfuse is looking pretty good, but with that Yamada done, it does make it a little bit tougher. Fourth base behind this for Mixu, even in the face of pressure. And now with 2 battlecruisers here, it does make it a little bit tougher. Should be able to take care of at least the Spore Crawler. But with these Queens having so much energy, definitely will have to back up here. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to press into this a little bit. I don't necessarily agree with that, but yeah, this creep spread up for Mixu looking really good. He is sending more Roaches across the map to put on some pressure, maybe even get some damage done, knowing that the battlecruisers are across the map. Hellions are there to wait, though, so I don't think he's going to get too much. It's going to see the third base coming through as well. Battlecruisers finally will come back. Lynx are going to be able to get a couple of kills, but overall not going to get that much. And already there's like a lot of Overlords coming across as well. That's not good at all for Mixu. Going to force a huge supply block here. Definitely a misclick coming out from Mixu. Jeez, 5 Corruptors at a time for Mixu. It's going to get on top of the first battlecruiser. More battlecruisers are coming through as the SCVs are trying to heal this up. +1 weapons going to be researched, and I don't know if I necessarily agree. Well, I guess with the tanks and stuff it'd be a little bit better. Alright. Corruptors getting on top of the battlecruisers, trying to take down as many as they can, but the Queen's coming in full energy here, actually going to transfuse all of the Corruptors. The battlecruisers starting to fall. The SCVs aren't able to heal this up as much. GG, and Mixu going to take game number 1 here. GG's. Alright. So game number 1 going to go to Mixu. Looking pretty strong. I mean, I like the build that Nicarak did. He just wasn't able to get the damage done that he really wanted to. So, we'll see what game number 2 will bring us. Here we go. Alright. Pillars of Gold gonna be map number 2. We'll see. I'm trying to think. Pillars of Gold definitely could be a good map for Terran. I don't necessarily like the opening that he did, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. All right. In the top right, in the red, it's the Zerg player. It is Mixu. And in the bottom left, in the purple, it's the Terran player. It is Nickerack. Alright. Now, Pillars of Gold is an okay, like, drop map. You can definitely kind of elevate her back and forth. We've seen in the previous series, of the PVZ, right? Or excuse me, not the PVZ. Was it ZVZ? Yeah, it was. Sorry. ZVZ, oh my god. I'm tired. Anyways, in the ZVZ, we saw Drop of Lords being utilized on Pillars of Gold. It's definitely one that you could get some drops in the top, at the same time trying to get some damage over here. So we'll see if something like that could be utilized, especially for a Terran that likes to do drops and stuff like that. But I don't think Nickerack goes for some kind of like Hellbat battle cruiser kind of opening. Especially since the first one kind of failed. CC on the way for Nickerack. On the other side, we do have that hatchery coming up for Mixu. And there's the third base coming down now. Nickerack choosing not to go. Okay, yeah, right there. Ooh, actually gets the first drone. Very nice. Even gets a Ling, still alive as well. Queen's now pop out, so it will at least kind of shut down this initial pressure for the time being. And Nickerack will at least scout the third base. Knows that, you know, there's something here at least. Very nice. Alright. And playing with death, ends up dying. Does at least do some good scouting. Kind of sees, you know, where everything is at. Knows that there's not some kind of crazy, you know, roach rush or something coming. Ling speed will finish up. And we do see just a couple links come out for defense. Banshee follow-up for Nickerack. 10 lings, though, coming out for Mixu. And yeah, I mean, Nickerack's just going to continue to kind of pressure into the front. Doesn't want to push too far into the creep, especially with the lings there. I mean, maybe if he suicides them to get some drone kills, but don't see that happening too much here. Very good job. Doesn't really lose anything, and yeah. I mean, really, Nicorak just delaying right now. Just continuing to, again, deny any kind of move out, any kind of creep spread. Banshee is on its way across. We'll get in here just the same time as Cloak finishes up. Spore Crawler just started, so we'll give him a little bit of time. And there's no detection here, so we'll allow a little bit of pressure. Hellions do want to get in and put some pressure on into the natural, but we'll eventually get pushed back. And yeah, overall not too bad. Just have the third base on the way here, and gonna be into this factory starport barracks kind of play. Doesn't want to go into mech though, so we do see more and more factories being added in. We see those, obviously those armories up and about. Now there is only Lings and now the Roach Warren done for a Mixu, but I don't know. Roach is not going to be that great against the mech. Hellions coming in. Not going to get much done as well. Yeah. He's got Raven on the way, +1 on the way as well. Ooh, very good block from Mixu. Queen's going to be able to circle this around. A lot of these Hellions starting to fall. Does get 3 drones, but will eventually get cleaned up here with those Lings. Same time, the Banshee's trying to get the kill or the cancel on the 4th base. Does get the kill. A little bit of a mistake there from Mixu. So does not get the extra minerals back. Roaches are out. +1 on the way. Actually getting +1 melee and +1 range. And speed. So going to go into Ling Roach kind of play. Makes you retaking that 4th base. Skin does go down, sees the layer tech. Doesn't really see anything else besides that. I mean, most of the stuff is in the natural. And yeah, we'll see. Sensor tower goes down. Has a feeling that's going to be some kind of Spire play, but in reality, it is going to be the Roaches. He has a 5th base on the way for Mixu. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air on Nicorak's side. So if he did go into Banshees, maybe, or if he were to go into, like, Spire Tech, well, it looks like that's what he's going to go into. Muta's going to do okay. Now, there is a Thor on the way, which isn't going to be the greatest for Mixu, but he can definitely use the speed advantage, right? Definitely needs a 4th base for this. It's just Hellions, tanks, and a Thor. It's not going to be the best, but until he can get, you know, +2 going, until he can get a little bit more air, he really has to kind of play defensive. He's got a 4th base on the way finally. That's going to help him out, but yeah. I mean, the thing I want to say so much about Nicorak is he's doing a really good job of denying creep. There's some getting kind of over here, but for the most part, he's putting on the pressure. He's, you know, trying to poke in a little bit, not overextending, and taking out some of the creep tumors and stuff like that. So. Overseer barely alive. It's going to be Corruptors, though. Interesting. Already into the infestation pit, going up to Hive. Yeah. I mean, Mixu's looking really good. He's at 95 workers. He doesn't have the better, like, army, but he's very close. Oh, beautiful wraparound. We'll be able to actually clear out a bunch of these Hellions. Let's get 6, 8, 10 kills. 12. Let's get 12 drones, though, for the amount of Hellions. Not the best, but... yeah, I mean, they're pretty much even at this point. Mixu definitely wants to go across now and attack. He has a 5th base on the way. So going to allow the larva to really start bustling. He's going into Greater Spire behind this. So Broodlords, Corruptors, +2 on the way. Tank's going to re-siege. Roach is going to get on top of it. Does force a cancel. Ooh. Oh, 20 SCVs do go down. The tank's on siege. Raven armor going to go down. Doesn't get the best hit. Actually hit some of his own army. And 23 is not bad at all. 101 army, or excuse me, 101 workers to 65. Still not bad. And yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have any anti-air at this point. So these Banshees going to be able to just kind of have free reign at this point. Kind of a bummer there, but Nickrak going to slowly start kind of pushing. He's only got 2 Thors with this army, so he doesn't have a whole lot of anti-air, but again, all that's really there is a couple of Corruptors. Well, he's got 13 Corruptors. Definitely could pose a potential problem here if he makes those into... yeah, that could be actually a really big problem. If he makes them into Broodlords, there's not a whole lot of anti-air. You take out the Thors, and what do you really have? Interesting. Alright, so fortunately makes you having to wait for the moment so they can really attack into this, but even then it's like, how do you attack into this many tanks? The Thors, the Hellbats dealing damage all together. Wow. I mean, Krosabal's going to do okay. He's going to be able to take out a couple of tanks. But he's losing so much here already. He really needs to get into Broodlords. He's only got 2 morphing right now. And yeah, I mean, that's all he really has. I guess it'll be okay, but if the Thors get on top of it, it's going to be in big trouble. 14 more drones do go down. Ooh, Krosabile almost takes out one of the Thors. He does have Infestors as well. There's no Raven with this army, though. Well, he's got tanks, or scans. So I guess that's okay. Gonna be more Ravens coming through. Got more Thors, 3 at a time, +3 on the way for the Terran. Mixu definitely trying to find something to work. Ooh, Krosabile, and oh, such a good hit there. Gonna eliminate a lot of these tanks potentially. Another fungal does go down. Only takes out a couple of tanks. Oh, the Thor's attack. Okay, never mind. Trying to get on top of this. Another fungal does go down. Krosabile is gonna reign on top of this, and slowly the tanks starting to spread themselves thin. There are quite a bit of Thors here, though. And GG will be called as Nickrak takes game number 2. We'll see that go to game number 3. GG's. I like that mech style. Definitely kind of interesting, though. I think Mixu was trying to play a little bit more defensively, but just could not get on top of that army. Did some good corrosive battles, some good fungals, but yeah, just wasn't able to get it. Romanticide going to be the final map of this series. So we'll see who will be our first mover on, and who will be playing the others. Alrighty, game number 3 is on the way. Let's get into it, guys. Alrighty, without further ado, here in the bottom left, right hand corner of the map, for the red Zerg, it is Mixu. And in the top left, in the purple, playing as the Terran pieces, it is Nicaract. Alrighty. Game number 3. Do we see some cheesy play? It does look like Nicaract going to go for the refinery first into Rax. Does he do the same build that he did in the previous series? Is it effective in TVZ? Nicaract gonna send across to his SCV. Let's get some good scouting information off, just to kind of see what is going on, and it makes you going for that hatch into pool. Nicaract will give it a good scout. Sees okay, pretty standard timing. Reaper on the way. Now, Nicaract played mech in the previous game. Does he play mech again? Is that kind of his thing in TVZ? I mean, game 1 we saw him go for a Hellion BC kind of play. Game 2 we see him go full on mech. Game 3 do we see that same kind of style? Now, Reaper on the way across the map. Factory on the way behind this, and that refinery. Ooh, almost gets surrounded. Is able to kill off one Ling though. The other Ling is pretty low, but will be able to eventually heal up. And we see Nicaract just continue to play this kind of back and forth game. Alrighty. Hellion's on the way. We've got the starport on the way as well for Nicaract. Makes you still just kind of going for the Ling play at the moment. He's got speed finishing up. And a Liberator follow-up. Nice. Roach is on the way for Mixu behind this, and definitely could get aggressive with him, right? Could go for like a speed timing, could go for a +1. But we will see Marine going to be able... Marine gonna be able to push back Mixu for the time being. And yeah, Liberator. Should be good. Again, we see Nickrack going for this kind of just pressure up at the front. Doesn't want creep to spread too much, but he also doesn't want to get into deep. Does Mixu actually scout this? Okay, he will actually see the Liberator coming in. Link's can go for a counterattack. It's already closed up though. Yeah. Very good distraction here. Nickrack going to distract with the Hellions. Gonna come in with the Liberator here. It's actually doing quite a bit of kills. And here comes a huge push into the natural. The Lings coming in for Mixu. We'll end up having to back up for a moment as the Roaches make their way across the map. The Ravagers coming through as well. There's no tanks with this army. It's literally just Hellions and eventually a Banshee. Hellions are going to have to return back home. Liberator's still getting damage done. Up to 9 kills, but the Lings, the Roaches, and the Ravagers here is getting some damage done. SCV starting to fall for Nickrack. Of course, the battles do come down. Going to eliminate a total of 8 SCVs, 9 and more coming through. The Hellions trying to get on top of everything. The SCVs having to be pulled, trying to heal up the Hellions. They will end up falling. Now, the Banshee is kind of the saving grace right now as the Lings come through, but not going to be enough. GG. And Mixu going to be the first to move on from Group B. GG's. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take another short break. We'll get into the next match. I believe it's going to be the 2 losers. And then the winner of that will play the winner. First map was... What was the first map? Hold on. Lightshade. I think. No, it wasn't Lightshade. The heck? Oh my god, I totally forgot. They did... Romanticide. Oh my god, I totally went blank. Hold on. Death Aura. Death Aura, Romanticide, and I don't know. There we go. Oh my god. I'm that tired. You know. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for waiting. We have our next match up. It's going to be Mechanics versus Honda Civic, a PVZ. First map going to be Pillars of Gold. Should be good. Got me some good old G Fuel, so hopefully should be good. Good stuff. There we go. Cool. Game number one gonna be loaded in here. Let's get into it, boys and girls. All right. Here, in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing as the red Zerg pieces, give it up, it is Mechanics. And in the bottom left, in the blue, is playing as the Protoss pieces, give it up, it is Honda Civic. Alrighty, so Honda Civic gonna be making his way across the map with his beautiful looking probe there. Potentially to do a little bit of a block. We'll see. Actually, very interesting. Gonna be a pool first coming out from Mechanics. And Honda Civic is gonna see this. It's so far just a one base play. And we'll see kind of what Honda does behind this. So far, he just has the gateway up. Does he just go second gateway? He is checking to make sure that there's no expansions. We do actually see Mechanics going for an expansion behind this, but it is like a 14-14-14, essentially. So it's going to be a Cybernex core. Alright. Finally, expansion is coming out here. Now, Mechanics is going to be going for about 6 links here to go across and to deal damage. Now, there is an Adept coming out for Honda Civic. And I'm interested to see, does he go into Stargate behind this? Or does he just want a little bit of an extra defense? He's going to try to get this... Yeah, there he goes. Going to be able to get it hooked up just in time behind their shield battery. Going to be going through now. Second Adept is on the way. We could very much see a Stargate coming through. But with the Overlord in position, I don't think he's going to try to do the tech just too much there. Yeah. There we go. Oh, he is going to go Stargate. Okay. Ooh, just barely out of being able to see. I mean, it is going to eventually be able to be seen here from Mechanics as he takes his own third base behind this. And I think as soon as he sees it, he'll know kind of like to be ready with the Spore Crawlers. But then does he automatically go into like Hive, or not Hive type, but Hydras? What does he end up going for here? It's going to be a Void Ray opening, so... we've actually seen Solar do a really good job of defending this. I think he's given like a good kind of lesson just by his play on how to defend against this kind of like Void Ray opening, because in these Void Ray Stargate openings like this, you don't have a lot of attacks. You don't have a lot of like army as the Protoss. And we've seen Zergs actually start just building a bunch of Roach Ravager kind of styles, and just overwhelm the Protoss because they don't have enough to defend. Third base can be taken from Honda Civic, and behind this Roach Warden is done for mechanics. We'll allow him to be a little bit aggressive potentially. We'll see. The biggest key to this for the Zerg is to make sure that the Protoss doesn't have room to breathe, right? He doesn't want to allow the Protoss to build up an army that's very strong, that deals a lot of damage. We have the Oracle coming in now, looking to get a couple of kills, but with the Queen, with the Spore Crawler there, just going to get a Revelate off, and we'll get out. So at least it kind of keeps track of the Hive, or well, the lair and stuff like that, but I don't know. Twilight Council, Forge, and additional Stargates with the Twilight Council going to be coming down, which will allow him to produce more and more of these Void Rays. And essentially, he will go up to carriers, but for the time being, going to be more Void Ray heavy. Go into potentially like Archons, maybe even Disruptors, depending on what kind of style he likes. But we'll see. Fourth base on the way for mechanics, and that's going to allow him to be pretty good. Actually, really interesting. Honda Civic is ahead in workers compared to mechanics at this point. I guess because he's had to make the Spore Crawlers and stuff like that, he's kind of taken a dip on that. But his army is definitely in favor here. Now the thing is like with these Roaches, they're going to be taking quite a bit of damage from the Void Rays. Actually losing like 2 of them before he even reaches the base. Ravager's on the way to help kind of deal with those, which will be nice considering how many Void Rays there are already. Getting a good surround on the Adepts. Of course, the battles will come down. Gonna actually land on top of a couple of the Void Rays. Queens are gonna come in here and start shutting this down, and definitely Honda Civic in trouble here. Queens have enough energy to replenish themselves. A couple of Stalkers being warped in to help deal with this, but this is just a lot coming out from mechanics. Queens trying to focus down the Void Rays. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the bad things, and Honda Civic just does not have enough. He is making 2 Void Rays at a time, so there's the potential there. So we will see. +1 on the way. And yeah, this is going to get taken down. Creep Tumor is going to get placed down on top of the Creep. This will allow the Queens to potentially move a little bit faster. More Lings are coming through to deal damage. There was a 4th base being taken up here, but look at all these probes going to be going down. Queens just getting transported all the way across. Does cancel the 4th base. And gonna have to recall the probes. Now, he does have quite a few Void Rays here, but again, these Queens are almost full energy at this point. Yeah, I mean, Void Rays are okay. He's going to go up to a Fleet Beacon, so looking to go into, you know, a higher attack. But with the addition of the Forge, Photon Cannons and the Shield Batteries, he's going to try to stay as much, I guess, defensive as possible. And really, until he can get a higher army, he has to kind of do that. What's going on with this? They got like little beacons? What is that? That's so crazy looking. I never noticed that. They got little like jetpacks on their butts. Or on their heads. That is so cool. That's cool. Alrighty, so behind this, it is going to be carriers coming out for Honda Civic. He does have +1 finally being researched off that Cybernetics core. And, yeah, I mean, Templar Archive is going to finish up. We're going to start seeing Storm being researched. We know that the Hydras are on the way. It kind of forces into Hydras in a sense. And with that +1 coming through as well, that's going to be very good. Link's going to be coming through. Also really interesting with the creep tumor and stuff. Just going to allow mechanics to have a little bit of an edge. 4th base is being taken for Honda Civic, but it's going to be really tough. And unfortunately right now, Storm is not finished. He will end up having to back up, but at least at the time being, it's a small amount of carriers coming through. So we'll allow these Hydras to kind of reign supreme at the moment. .33 probes, so have gone down. Link's going into the natural. Same time, this 4th base is going to get canceled. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Honda Civic falling apart here in game number 1. Trying to go with this kind of Void Ray army. Not going to be enough. GG. And Mechanics takes game number 1. Alrighty, so game number 2 should be here very, very soon. I'm excited to see kind of how things end up playing out all together. Jagannatha gonna be the next map. There we go. And there we go. So, will Mechanics get the 2-0? Or will we see Honda Civic tie things up? I'm trying to think, you know, Honda Civic definitely needs to be more aggressive. Needs to kind of force Mechanics into a weird situation. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, guys, let's get into it. Alrighty, without further ado, here in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha, give it up for the Zerg player. It is Mechanics. And the bottom left, in the blue, it is Honda Civic as the Protoss. Alright, so Jagannatha is definitely a large map. I wouldn't be surprised to see some proxy pylons across the map. Maybe even a warp prism kind of opening, just to be able to warp in across the map. One of the good things about Protoss is being able to warp in across the map. Unlike Zerg, unlike Terran, you know, being able to just warp in wherever you want is a nice feature. I mean, you have Nidus Worms and stuff to kind of help for the Zerg, but I don't know. We'll see. So, what do we see if both of these players kind of go for it? Spine pulled down for mechanics. He's already got the hatchery about finished up. And behind this, I think he just runs up from this, right? Doesn't really feel the threat. He is up one game. He's like, as long as I can play my standard, I should be okay. He does make a couple of links, but those are more to just kind of pressure, more to just kind of scout than anything. And it's going to be Stargate again from Honda Civic. And I don't know how much I necessarily like this. It's definitely something that a lot of Protosses have been doing. We've seen it kind of been really popular within the last like month or so. And it just feels like right now Zerg has it figured out on how to actually defend it, you know? I think when it first kind of was making its rounds, definitely Zerg was kind of taken back by it, and we saw a lot of like wins, especially for Protoss, because of it. But nowadays, I think with Zerg figuring it out, definitely needs to be changed up, right? So Void Ray opening, probably going to be an Oracle follow-up. Now, with it being there, that does give a little bit of an advantage, just because it will allow him to at least just fly directly across the map. But we'll see. Third base is going to be attacked here, and will eventually just kind of get pushed off, or at least killed off. Ling's at the front. I don't think he actually knows of the Stargate yet. Yeah, he does. So, Void Rage is trying to find whatever it can. Oracle will be making its way across the map as well very shortly. Third base as well. I almost feel like with this Stargate tech, it almost would be better to delay your third base, so you can get more like infantry and stuff up. But a lot of Protoss like to take a quick third off of it. But obviously when you're going up to that higher tech, it kind of forces you to delay a lot of things. Roach Warden on the way for mechanics as well. And yeah, I mean, he's just going to make the Roach Ravager and just continue to put pressure. I imagine we will see some drop of Lords come through. Huh. Oh, okay, yeah. This is the Sigmund or whatever. Ooh, loses the Oracle. Not good. Yeah. Forge, additional Stargate, and that Twilight Council will come down. We will eventually see the High Templar and stuff, but obviously this big attack's going to be coming across now for mechanics. And there's a little bit of defense, couple of, shield batteries, couple of photon cannons. That's really about it. With the Queens coming through in the drop of Lords, this is definitely a very tough attack to defend against. Charge on the way. Now, he needs to get on top of the Overlords. He needs to take those out. He can potentially just shut this down. We'll see. Link's trying to make their way into the natural. Here come the Void Lords. Not going to be able to get in time. And the Queen's going to get dropped. Going to go ahead and just shut down some of the infantry here. Overcharge, trying to heal up as much as possible. Does get taken out though. The Link's going to come in. Going to get a nice surround of the Void Lords. Or Void Rays, excuse me. are going to be taken out as well, and this attack just going to get so much damage done, taking out a lot of the production here for a Honda Civic. The Queen's going to drop in instantly, and with the attack going on into the natural, or into the third base, and eventually into the main. Honda Civic definitely up against the ropes, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make a comeback from this. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to play super defensive here, but I mean, it's so much army for mechanics. And there we go. Third base going to go down. Void Rays are going to hit Corrosive Bile. And yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate. I definitely think Honda Civic need to change it up. I think right now this Void Ray kind of opening, Stargate in general, is just very, very weak. Especially with the Zergs knowing kind of what to do. We even see the micro with the drop of lords. Just really good stuff. GG's. And mechanics gonna take the game. And we'll move on to the final match. I believe it's gonna be mechanics versus here we go. Go ahead and switch back over. But yeah, it's gonna be mechanics versus. Huh. Why is that freaking out? There we go. There we go. Nicorette. Cool. And I believe that will be the final match to see who moves on. So unfortunately, Honda Civic gonna be knocked out. And we will see who will move on between these two. Should be good. Tomorrow there will be more action, so don't go anywhere with that. I believe Group C is going to take place. It's going to be Battlebee, Jaros, Gino, and the Probe Scout. So 3 Terrans and a Protoss should be good. And then also Group D, Argon, Fajant, Ryuchi, and Trigger. Going to have some ZVP action there. Should be good, and we will see who will end up moving on between all of those. First map for the next series is going to be on the Lightshade. We'll see mechanics and Nicorette both 1-1 at this point. There we go. Cool. Let's see. Now, so far, from Group A, Percival and Hydra have moved on. So Terran and a Protoss, beating out Christener and Azura. So far, Mixu has claimed his first spot, so we'll be joining them. And then, like I said, it's going to be either Nicorette or Mechanics. And we'll see for the other ones. And then we will have our quarterfinal playoffs. Should be good. Alright, it's going to be another TVZ. I believe these two are... Did they already play? Yeah, they play... No, they haven't played yet. Okay. Alright, guys, let's get into it. Alrighty, without further ado, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing as the Red Terran. Give it up, it is Nicorette. And in the bottom right, in the blue, It's the Terran. It is Mechanics. Alrighty, so Nikarak playing a TBZ earlier should have a little bit of a warm up to it. Now we've seen him go into mech, so I am interested. Does he pull out those same kind of strategies as previous, or does he change it up? Does he have a few more builds up his sleeve? Mechanics has definitely been a good reactive player and has really shown his strength. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does move out of the groups, but definitely Nikarak has been playing strong as well and showing some really good builds too. So we'll see kind of how things go about. There we go. Nikarak going to come in for a scout, while Mechanics Overlords do just kind of float across. You'll float too! There we go. It's going to be a Reaper opening. And we've seen that Nikarak does kind of like the variant between a Reaper and also just going into a reactor opening. So we'll go for the factory, and behind us should be going into Hellions, potentially into battle cruisers. We'll see though. Drone gonna hide out for the moment while the Reaper does come in, and then we'll eventually take it as he sees it is pretty safe to come out. It actually does get one kill. Ooh, kits the drone as well. Nikarak doing a good job. The third base now taken from Mechanics behind this. And with the Queen out, does eventually kind of shut this down. He might be able to put on a little bit of pressure, but the Queen will trump. Sees that the expansion finishing up for Nico. And behind this, I mean, he's going to come in for another scout. Just try to see what's going on, but it is just a standard kind of 3-base opening for the Zerg. Couple of Hellions can make their way across the map, looking to deny creep, maybe kill off a couple of these lings, and definitely could get the damage done. Mechanics actually supply blocked here. Very interesting. Okay, so it is going to be a repeat of game number 1. He's going to throw down the fusion core. Now, if Mechanics was watching the previous series, he's going to know kind of what to expect. And as he sees more and more Hellions coming out, he should kind of have an idea. But for the time being, the fusion core is going to be hidden away. We do see the Overlord still just kind of hanging out, has no idea really what's going on. And we'll go ahead and hang out. Now he's going to send some lings across the map. Going to force the Hellions back. But this does give him an opportunity to potentially do some counter harassment. 14 more lings are on the way. And he definitely wants to attack soon and quick before the battlecruiser is able to get out. There's a second starport on the way, as he does want to eventually go into that double battlecruiser. Now, sport colors are coming down for Mechanic. Just wants to make sure he has some kind of defense against all of this. Lings looking for the most optimal kind of attack, right? They want to get a wraparound. They want to be able to shut down Nikarak and get in and do some damage. Now, the first battlecruiser will be coming out here in just a second. And we'll be able to actually make it across the map and deal damage. Lings are going to come in here. There are a couple of Marines to kind of hold this off. Battlecruisers are going to be coming in at the same time now. There's only 3 queens here once again. Lings are going to be ended up dying. Queens do have some good energy. First queen does go down. The second queen looking to be very low. Another queen has joined the fray though. I think he's going to have just enough to finish this off. GG. And Nicorak will get the victory there. We'll see him take a 1-0 lead against Mechanics. We'll see. Mechanics pick now, and what does he go for? I think Mechanics definitely could get aggressive here. Game number 2, seeing that kind of weird, like, Hellion battlecruiser opening. I think it could be good. It's going to be on Death Aura for map number 2. Should be good. Oh, did it not switch over? There we go. All right. Let's get it. Here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, playing as the Red Terran Pieces. It's currently up 1-0. Keep it up. It is Nicorak. In the top left, in the blue, playing as the Zerg Pieces. Give it up. It is Mechanics. This time, barracks first, into reactor for refinery for Nicorak. Is going to be hatch first, so very standard opening from both sides. It's been really interesting, right? Nicorak's been one of those players. He can go for the refinery first. He can go for the reactor, or excuse me, the barracks first, and can really go back and forth with it all. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit more standard from him. Maybe go into some bio play, or we have seen him actually go into that mech. So definitely good for him so far. Mechanics, I imagine we'll go into some kind of roach play. It seems like to be something he likes to do. He definitely can go into, say, Spire Tech, and he can play that late game. So we'll see how Game 2 kind of shapes up. I think Death Aura is definitely a little bit better than, the previous map. So we'll see. Reaper will make its way across the map. Third base is on the way already for Mechanics, and that definitely will allow him to be a little bit more aggressive, I guess. If he wants to, anyways. Queen's gonna pop out. We'll be able to at least kind of shut this down for the time being. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's just going to be drones for the most part. Speed is almost done. It's about halfway done. Tech lab being built on the barracks. Now, he could, with the Overlord coming in, he could think, okay, it's going to be some kind of Banshee play, or maybe it could be that Battlecruiser play. once again, but I don't know. I don't think he goes for that same build 2 times in a row. Definitely could be Banshees at this point. I think that's kind of the call, right? We already see the Queens getting built up. He's making 3 at a time at this point. Lings are here. He's not overcommitting to him, but he does have a Roach Warren down. Ends up living with 7 health. Hellions again, just trying to find some damage wherever they can at this point. Banshee's on the way. That's actually about to pop, and with the Overlord coming in, we'll be able to at least see what's going on, and sees that it is going to be Banshees, so he doesn't have to worry about battle cruisers or anything like that at the moment. +1, Stim is on the way for the Terran behind this. Cloak is about to finish up. Going to be a tank opening. And we do see Lair on the way. We'll allow him to get Bailing speed if he wants to go into the Ling Bane route. He does have the Roaches, so we'll allow him to go into like Roach speed. Go into +1, +2. So it should be good. Banshee coming through. Gonna cloak up. There is no detection at the moment. There is a Spore Crawl on the way, but it's not gonna be finished in time. We'll allow Nicorak to actually get a few kills here, right? So you can get 4, maybe 6. Dang. Allow him to get 6 kills with that first Banshee. The second Banshee on the way. And he's doing a really good job of actually kind of staying in the dead zones. Gets even the new kill. Scans. Denies a hatchery for the 4th. And we'll even be able to pick up a few of the creep tumors. So very nice. Gets out of there. No harm, no foul. And yeah, I like it. 7 workers for free. Can't blame that. Combat Shield's on the way, Marine, so we are going to see ourselves some bio play from Nicorak, adding on quite a bit of barracks at this point. He's going up to 5. He is taking his 3rd base at the same time. One of his tanks kind of in an awkward position, but we'll be able to get moved just in time. And a little counterattack coming out from Mechanics. Ooh. Marine's going to be there to kind of help out with this, but the tanks shooting onto each other will take out one of the tanks. The second tank does go down. Finally, the Lings do get cleaned up. Scan on the other side for the Banshee. It's going to clean up a lot of the creep tumors here. Sees that 4th base, and here comes those Hellions and the Reaper. Just trying to put some pressure onto the 3rd base. Eventually does back up, and we see everything kind of returning back home. Combat Shield's finishing up. +1 on the way, as well as Combat Shield, or excuse me, Concussive Shell. It does look like he wants to go for a little bit of a push. Overlord, we'll see this coming. We'll to kind of prepare. Now there are Queens in position. He also has the Roaches coming down to help out. Really wants to get on top of the tank before it can siege up. The rest of it he can kind of handle. He has to be careful though. Oh, the tank gonna unsiege. The Roach is gonna try to get on top of this. The Queen healing each other up as much as possible. We'll end up losing quite a bit here though. I don't think he has enough. Everything getting on top of the Queens. The Marine's gonna stem forward here to get on top of the Queen. Does take it out. Now there are more Roaches on the way. 12 more Roaches are getting ready to pop. +1 on the way for those Roaches as well. And Nicorak actually going to go ahead and back up. This will allow Mechanics to get not ahead, but it will allow him to get ready for another attack. Ravagers on the way to deal with the tanks. And does he go for a counterattack behind this? There's a 4th base being built for Nicorak as he does start pushing out once again. Stim done. Everything else done as well. He's got a good, healthy army here. 11 more roaches are on the way, so definitely mechanics trying to get aggressive. Banshee coming up to the top. You'll be able to pick off maybe 1 or 2 drones. It's going to be about it. Same time, another big attack coming up here to the third base. GG, a Necroract will be your second player to move on. So GG's well played to him. And to all of our players for today. Definitely was a good series overall. There we go. So that is it. Necroract going to be your final player for Group B to move on. And so he will join Mixu in the playoffs with Percival and Hydra. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good one. I sure did. I am going to go to bed. And in the morning, actually in about 8 to 9 hours, going to be casting the Korea Light Cup #2. Just make sure you guys check that out and other things. Always make sure that you do help out with the Matcherino. Click on the link that's been provided by BotRx. Or if you type in !Matcherino, use that promo code DSLPRO-S3 to help out with the prize pool. Definitely would be appreciated and all of that. Guys, thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.